Hey everybody, let's do something different. Let's go for a ride. My 34 Ford that I built about 5 or 6 years ago. Needs a good washing. Hasn't been out. I'm gonna go for a little rip. Let's go for a cruise. This was my dream car since I was 7 years old. Never dreamed I'd ever have one, and never dreamed that I would build it myself. I did about 98% of the work on this car, from fixing the frame, which is an original 34 frame that I boxed in and reconfigured. Put a Heights front end under this car on the front, and it's got a tri-angled rear bar system on the back. I've got Ride Tech shocks on it, which makes this car ride awesome. The low profile tires don't help the ride as much as a higher profile tire would, but the look of the car is what I wanted, so I'll sacrifice some ride for the look. I've got a lot of thought in this car and a lot of years of dreaming, and I'm quite pleased with it. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to build it. When I started it, I thought, oh, that's a big project. But I took one step at a time, and we built the car from start to finish. I did the paint, I did the upholstery, I did the wiring, which was a nightmare, but I muddled through it. I started it in January, and I drove it that August. The car wasn't complete, but I got out and drove it for a few months before the winter was done, or before winter came. Another year or so passed, and then I brought her in the shop and I painted it. Then I did the upholstery, and we've been driving it ever since. I also have a custom teardrop camper that I built for it also, and we get out and we enjoy this car. Here's the custom teardrop camper that I built. Same color. It is a plywood box with a fiberglass epoxy resin on the outside, painted to suit the car. I have a custom kitchen in the back of the teardrop, and custom cabinets inside the bedroom area. Has a queen size bed, it's very comfortable. In this picture you can see how well it matches the car, and it suits it quite well, and it pulls like a dream. We get lots of questions and lots of comments when we are out camping. out of the garage, I noticed a strong smell of gas. Sometimes when I fill the car up fully, a little bit of the gas comes out of the overflow pipe because the overflow pipe's quite low. Just thought I'd pull over and take a peek, and sure enough, I've got a leak in my braided line, which is quite surprising. So I'm going to boogie back home and try not to get this thing to catch on fire, and look it over and see what I can do. I'm surprised that it's leaking. So this is a 1934 Ford 3-window coupe. It's got a 3.5-inch chop. It is a fiberglass body made by Ramrod. Ramrod is no longer in business, but they made awesome replicas. Like I said, the chassis is original, and the front grille is an original, which are both in decent shape. I chose to go fiberglass over steel because I didn't want to ruin a steel body, and steel bodies are like hen's teeth to find, especially in this country. I chose to go fuel injection. I'm running a 1996 350 Chevy out of a 96 Corvette with 4L60E electronic transmission. It works quite well. I'm pushing just under 300 horsepower. When I built this car, I wanted to drive it, and I wanted to be able to afford to put fuel in it, especially with the gas prices right now at $2 a liter. I get about 21 miles a gallon when I'm cruising on the highway at about 110 kilometers an hour. This car seems to handle really well, and the faster you go, the better it handles. It's awesome. I've done some fairly long trips in it, 3 or 4 hours. I've still got a few little things I'd like to change on it and modify, but this car works pretty awesome. Another car enthusiast that I'm friends with told me when I was building this car, these cars are a constant maintenance and working on them, and this little hiccup with the fuel leaking is just one of those things. It's all part of the hobby, tinkering with it, washing it, waxing it, fixing little things that come up. And as we drive them, we get situations where things break and we need to fix, just like a normal car. I was a little concerned because the fuel was dripping onto the hot exhaust, and didn't want anything to happen. So it's time to look her over and take it apart and repair what needs repaired, and we'll be on the road again. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like the content, please subscribe. We'll be doing some car shows and some other trips around with the car, and possibly go camping with the camper. Until the next adventure, burn out and ride.